13 useless and pointless facts you should know. Animal facts. 1. Cats can't move their jaw to the sides, just up and down, which is enough to eat their food quickly and ask for a bit more. We're sure it doesn't impact their easy lives too much. 2. These fish form queues when moving through gaps. When neon tetra fish encounter a narrow gap on their travels, they form a line so they can pass through without causing a blockage. 3. Snails have teeth, but they're not like human teeth. That would be weird and horrifying, but rather microscopic bumps called radula. Phew. Scientists say that these fancy slugs have up to 12,000 teeth. 4. Cats can make almost 100 vocal sounds. Anyone who has a pet cat will know they're almost exclusively to demand food, even when they've just eaten. 5. All porcupines can float. While porcupines use their quills as a way of defending themselves, they're also handy as a buoyancy aid. The quills have a little air pocket inside, but instead of being released out of the bum in the usual humerus, worms do an important job when they move around, as they loosen the soil and help it get oxygen. But what's more incredible is that they can move each ear independently and rotate them 180 degrees. Thanks, worms. Stinky way. The methane is absorbed into the blood. So, there's absolutely no point in blaming a bad smell on these slow-moving mammals. They had suspected the dino-ness of birds for a long time, and finally here was actual evidence. Before this discovery, many experts believed that dinosaurs were giant reptiles, but it turns out they were basically massive chickens. A thought that makes Jurassic Park a little less scary. Or maybe even more scary. The flamingo's tongue helps pump the food-filled water in and out of their mouths about 3 times a second. This technique is called filter feeding. Bunny rabbits are very hygienic creatures who self-groom in much the same way that a cat does. But the rabbit's digestive system does not move in reverse, meaning rabbits cannot bring up hairballs like a cat can. So basically, if you're banking on a burst of bunny barf, don't hold your breath. They only grow a centimeter a year, but it is believed they may live for up to 500 years, as long as they don't have an accident. Waterproof bags containing letters were tied around their necks and then were driven out into the countryside, miles away from their homes, and let go. They all made it home within 24 hours. Ultimately, the scheme was abandoned as it was easier to deliver the mail yourself than rely on a cat. This statistic means that should the chickens decide to take over the country, Jurassic Park, we would be massively outnumbered. So, once they are all snug in their cave, bears form a kind of plug for their bottom made out of their bedding. According to another study, ravens, including crows, jays and magpies, can hold grudges for up to 2 years. So, make sure you don't upset a crow, because they just won't let it lie. Which is pretty gross but seems to work. The threat is real, people. Come the chicken uprising, don't say we didn't warn you. Beaver bum gunk is sometimes used as a vanilla flavoring, so the vanilla scent could be due to the animal's diet of bark and leaves. Whatever the reason, chances are you've encountered said bottom debris. No, because they recycle the nitrogen in their own wee to keep themselves warm from the inside out. Enjoy. They could let off all they want. People have always done rather odd things to prevent toothache. Leopards are the same way with their spots. So, if you shaved a tiger, it would still be a stripey and be miffed. They accidentally sting other bees. Ouch. Romantic stories about chivalry and dominance associated with the unicorn may be why it was chosen as Scotland's national animal. When they do drink, they've been known to down 12 gallons in one sitting to keep themselves going. In comparison, a camel can go about 2 weeks, or maybe they were just having a laugh. Either way, we approve. They are also sometimes a crash, herd, pod, or dale. For example, the ancient Egyptians scrubbed their teeth with a powder made from ox hooves and eggshells. Its eyes are bigger than its brain. Hipster began appearing in the late 1930s and primarily referred to a knowledgeable person or interested in jazz. Having said that, its brain isn't that big. An ostrich's eyes are about 2 inches or 5 centimeters in diameter, which is around the size of a ping pong ball. There are loads of other excellent collective nouns for groups of animals. For example, a cauldron of bats, a coalition of cheetahs, and a rumba of rattlesnakes. If you're surrounded by a rattlesnake rumba, you might say your rumba's up. Although you'd probably forego wordplay and just scream your head off. But weirder still, during the Middle Ages in Germany, they thought a cure for a toothache was kissing a donkey. Even if it did something for your toothache, it certainly won't do anything for your breath, and you'd be none the wiser, which helps them bob around on the water. They're also good swimmers too. 6. A sloth's fart doesn't stink. The sloth's gut produces methane, People often assume it's all swans, but it is in fact unmarked mute swans which King Charles III can lay claim to. It's a tradition that goes back to the 12th century, as they were seen as food fit for royalty. 7. A square mile of Earth can be home to approximately 32,000 worms. It's like a muddy city under the grass if you think about it. 8. King Charles III owns every swan in the United Kingdom, sort of. These often grumpy birds are the property of the monarch. 9. Flamingos can only eat with their heads upside down. These tall pink characters use their tongue as a sieve to catch food by flipping their heads about. 10. There are 32 muscles in a cat's ear. This feature is what allows cats to swivel and rotate their ears so that they can pinpoint the source of a noise. 11. The chicken and the ostrich are the closest living relatives of the Tyrannosaurus rex. In 2003, scientists used collagen in ancient dinosaur remains to figure this out. 12. People used to believe that kissing a donkey could relieve a toothache. Yep, that's right. 13. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. An ostrich is the biggest bird in the world, and it has the largest eyes in the whole animal kingdom. That's right. Please support my channel by subscribing to Amazing Factopia. Thank you.